So welcome back everyone, Mike here. If you watched our video the other day, you know we're doing a whole series on testing commercial mowers. Now the other day we took a close look at a Toro 6000 series zero turn. It was really fast, really comfortable, and the cut was really nice. Well, today we're going to take a look at the Walker. So here is the Walker mower. It's a model MH37i. It has a 64-inch rear discharge deck. It's powered by a Vanguard 37 horsepower fuel injected engine. The drives are dual independent hydro gear ZT3400 with integrated transaxles. The fuel capacity, it has dual 4.7 gallon tanks. Have you ever searched on YouTube's for videos like on specific mowers? You know, you might be interested in buying one, you want to kind of see how it does, and all you come up with are videos where guys are out there cutting grass that doesn't even really need cut. Well, we're not going to do that today, not at all. I'm going to head down to my sister's place. I haven't mowed that field down there in probably close to 3 weeks, because if you're like me, there's 2 times you mow, when you're not working and when it's not raining. So sometimes it gets away from you, and that grass down there, it's got to be, it's probably that tall, at least. But we'll see. We got a fuel injected 37 horsepower engine here and a 64-inch deck, and we're going to test it out. We'll come back up here to the house then and kind of go over it in more detail. If you really hate cutting grass, then that Walker's the mower for you. Because if you wanted to, you'd only have to cut it a couple times a year. That was probably 1.5 feet tall in places. Now when I let it get away from me before and I would mow that with a side discharge bad boy, I mean, you could literally bale hay with what was left. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot left at all. Now some of the areas I did hit twice just because there's a few stragglers sticking up, but that rear discharge really mulches things up. But I think it looks fantastic. I mean, one more mowing, you know, don't let it get away from me next time, but one more mowing, this is gonna look fantastic. Alright, I made it back up here to the house. Now I want to show you how to drive this Walker mower. It's a little bit different than a conventional zero turn. Actually, it's a lot different. This lever right here, this is your drive. You push this forward, we're about half speed right there, something like that. Both wheels are driving forward, you're going in a straight line. Kind of like cruise control. You don't have to have your hand on this, and it's just going to keep going, but it's a good idea to keep your right hand on this in case you have to stop quick. You can pull it back. So let's say you're going about half speed right there. This is how you steer the mower. These two levers right here. You keep your left hand on this, and all you do, if you want to turn right, pull this one back just the slightest bit. You want to turn left, pull that one back just the slightest bit. If you're used to running a zero turn, you know, you're wanting to push these forward, that's not what you want to do. You just slow this wheel down, slow that one down. It's very simple. If you want to back up, then you pull them backwards. I'm going to be straight up with you. When I engaged those mower blades for the first time and started mowing, I was all over the place. And my first thought was, who in the heck came up with this idea? This is a horrible way to steer this mower. But it literally took me 5, maybe 10 minutes at the most, and it just became second nature. I've run a lot of equipment over the years, and that's one thing I'm decent at. I can pick up on things like that pretty quick. Some people may take a little bit longer, but it wasn't 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I mean, it's just second nature. You quit thinking about what you're doing, and it's fast. The mower mows real fast, it turns real fast, works really good. It's a really interesting design. May take some people a little getting used to, but once you're onto it, I really like it. Well, the wind's starting to pick up and it's starting to cloud up, so it may rain here soon. So I want to kind of go over a few of these features on this mower, and I want to mow a little bit more before it rains. But anyway, this right here, this is how you engage the PTO. This lever right here, parking brake right here, and your throttle. There's no choke on this. Like I said, this is a fuel injected 37 horsepower Vanguard. No choke needed. To adjust your deck height, I had it set pretty high because that grass down there was about 1.5 feet. Just pull this pin out, and there's multiple settings here. I'm going to shorten it up for what's left in my yard here to mow. And then what you do, you'll step on this pedal. I'll have to get in the seat to do that. So all you do, step on that pedal, lift up on this, and that lowers your deck. And it locks in place. These here, they're adjustable. You can put them however you feel comfortable. Now when you're mowing, this deck follows the ground really nice. So your legs are going to go up and down a little bit. It doesn't bother you at all, but it's pretty handy. It keeps that deck nice and flat on the ground at all times. Now check this out. This little lever right here, you can get to absolutely everything. There's a little bit of grass in there. I'm going to blow that out. Now one thing that's very apparent Walker is really big on, and that is grease fittings. There's grease fittings everywhere on this thing. Some people like that, some people like, you know, sealed and lubricated. Personally, I like grease fittings. Everything just lasts a lot longer with them, but there's a ton of grease fittings all over this mower. Now before it rains, I'm going to knock this section of lawn out right over here. Won't take long at all. I'll be able to go really fast because it is nowhere near as high as what I just cut with this. Now that right there is awesome. This here is just a safety, so if you're changing blades out or whatever, nothing can happen. Now this has like a safety button right here. You have to push this to activate it, to raise it or lower it. Now that power lift that I just showed you, that's an option. If you don't have that, it'll still have this bar on it. You stick it in here, and then you can lift it up manually. Alright, so here are my thoughts on the Walker after running it for the first time. As far as comfort and ride goes, ride's really nice. However, I think the Toro with the MyRide suspension is a little bit more comfortable. It takes bumps and humps a little bit better than the Walker. Now don't get me wrong, it's not a bad ride. Compared to the bad boy that I've been running for 7 years without any suspension at all, this is light years ahead of it. But that Toro is just a little bit more comfortable. Now the controls on this Walker, I love them. At first, I hated them. It would take some getting used to for anybody that's not familiar with them. Some people just kind of catch on to those things. Other people, it takes some time. But I think anyone that spends a little bit of time on the seat of that thing would learn to love those controls. They're really nice. Now, as far as power goes, this thing's a beast. It is. That grass down at my sister's place was like 1.5 feet tall, and I did hit a lot of it twice. I had to. But the rear discharge, man, it mulched all that stuff up. Like I said earlier in this video, when I would mow that, you know, when it kind of gets out of control like it does, you know, you're working, you come home, it pours down rain, you get to it when you can get to it. But anyway, when I was mowing with that bad boy all those years, when that grass, I don't think I've ever had it that high, but if it's like 1 foot tall, you're making windrows of clippings, and it's there the next time you mow, and the next time you're just blowing dead grass all over the place, bogging the mower down. This rear discharge and 37 horsepower in here, it just mulched it all up. It's gone. I mean, one more mowing down there and it's going to look beautiful, and it doesn't look too bad today. So I think power-wise, it goes to the Walker. It's got a little bit more power than the Toro that I ran the other day, and I was really impressed with that. That grass was deep. Like I said earlier, whenever I go to look for a video on YouTube, you know, of a mower or something, you're looking to buy something, they're cutting grass. It's like this tall and they're cutting it down like that. So we kind of put it to the test down there and that stuff. And as far as quality of cut goes, I have to give it to the Walker on that one as well. Over the Toro, the way that deck floats over the ground, and a bonus feature on the Walker is the way that deck stands up. Even if you don't get the automatic lift on one, that's really nice for changing blades, pressure washing, you know, all the grass clippings and all the gunk out from underneath there. That is a really, really nice feature. Oh, and one more thing I want to mention, down in the front part of the yard, I have a few trees and it's kind of on a side hill. Not real steep. The Walker is definitely better on mowing around those trees than the bad boy. I haven't tried the Toro down there, but my bad boy, when you're going down and you make that turn, that left tire is always locking up and you're kind of tearing up the grass as you go around it. The Walker didn't do that. Feels a little bit better on the side hill than the bad boy. Now that's about all I can tell you so far between the Walker and the Toro. I mowed most of my grass up here with the Toro and everything down at my sister's with the Walker. Next time I'll take the Toro down below and we'll see how it does down there and mow this whole top up here with the Walker, and I'll have a better idea. I'll be able to provide some more information. But so far both mowers are really quick and they're really powerful and they're both a lot of fun. It's kind of enjoyable to cut grass. But anyway, like I always say, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button, click subscribe, and share them with your friends. Thanks.